All right, let's talk about marketing in Dubai. If you're in that world, you know it is one of the most exciting and, let's be honest, one of the most competitive digital landscapes on the entire planet. So the big question is, how do you find an agency that can actually cut through all that noise? Today, we're going to break down the strategic guide for really elevating your brand here as we head into 2025.
So let's just get right to it. The question that's on everybody's mind. In a market this packed, this loud, this vibrant, how do you actually win? How do you make sure your business gets the attention it truly deserves?
Well, the answer is simpler than you might think, but also a lot more crucial. It all boils down to one thing: finding the right partner. Not just an agency that works for you, but one that gets in the trenches with you.
Okay, let's dive into this a little deeper. To really get why the right partner is so critical, you first have to appreciate the sheer scale of what's happening here. Dubai's digital scene isn't just growing, it is absolutely exploding with innovation, with competition, and with a ton of opportunity.
So you might be thinking, why not just do our marketing in-house? And that's a fair question. But a top Dubai agency brings something else to the table. They're not just executing tasks, they're providing a serious strategic advantage. We're talking data-driven strategies that know what's happening globally, sure, but, and this is the key, they have a deep, lived-in understanding of the cultural nuances of the GCC and the wider MENA region. That local knowledge, that's what turns clicks into customers and gets you a way higher return on your investment.
But the word best gets thrown around constantly. It's almost meaningless. So before we even mention any names, we need to build a framework. What are we actually looking for? What really makes an agency elite in a market like this?
Here's what it comes down to. A truly top-tier agency doesn't just talk about creative ideas. They show you the receipts. They have to come to the table with proven results, with transparent case studies. And you want to see a real, deep understanding of the Dubai consumer. Because in a market that moves this fast, you need a partner that's agile and innovative, not one that's just recycling last year's playbook.
All right, so with that criteria in mind, let's take a look at a few of the agencies that are really making waves. Now, this is not an exhaustive end-all be-all list. Think of it as a curated look at 4 very different types of specialists who are all crushing it in their own unique way.
First one up is CreazionMedia. Now, if your brand is all about aesthetics, luxury, and telling a powerful story through visuals, then this is an agency you absolutely need to have on your radar. Their whole world revolves around creating this seamless, beautiful brand experience. They blend high-level brand strategy with stunning, high-end visuals. You should think of them as the go-to partner for luxury e-commerce brands and those direct-to-consumer companies across the GCC that know a beautiful look and feel is absolutely non-negotiable. Okay, now let's do a complete 180 and look at a totally different kind of specialist, traffic digital. For these guys, it's all about one thing. One metric that rules them all: return on investment. I mean, they're one of the largest independent agencies in the entire UAE, and just look at their client list. We're talking giants like PepsiCo and Hilton. That tells you the story right there. Their expertise is pure performance marketing, digging deep into analytics and mobile strategy. They're a perfect fit for big corporations that need growth that is measurable, scalable, and backed by hard data.
But hey, what if you're not a global corporation? What if you're a startup just getting off the ground or a small to medium-sized business? Well, that's exactly where an agency like Amplified Digital shines. They have totally carved out a niche for themselves by focusing on the unique needs of growing businesses.
What they've done, really smartly, is package the most critical services. We're talking social media, SEO, paid ads, and tailor them specifically for regional startups and SMEs. So in short, they deliver that much-needed growth, but without the massive enterprise-level price tag.
And finally, for any brand out there that lives and breathes on social media, you have got to talk about Socialize Agency. These guys are true masters of the social and influencer game.
They work with massive brands like Uber and Adidas here in the MENA region, and their entire focus is on killer influencer marketing, creating video content that people actually want to watch, and building rock-solid social media strategies. They have an unbelievable influencer network across the Middle East, which makes them an absolute powerhouse for any consumer-facing brand.
Okay, so seeing them all side by side like this makes the main point super clear, right? There is no single best agency. There's only the best fit for you. Are you a luxury brand that needs powerful storytelling? You look at CreazionMedia. Are you a huge enterprise chasing hard data? Traffic Digital is your answer.
A hungry startup that needs to grow fast? That's Amplify. Or a lifestyle brand trying to build that social buzz? You go to Socialize. It's all about matching the specialty to your need.
So understanding the landscape is one thing, but how do you actually pull the trigger and make a choice? Let's walk through a simple but really powerful framework to help you pick your perfect partner.
Here it is, your 5-step checklist. Number 1, dive deep into their portfolio. Have they actually done work in your specific industry? 2, don't be shy. Grill them on their KPIs. How exactly do they measure success? 3, do they offer truly integrated services or are things siloed? 4, check their communication style. You need transparency. And number 5, and this is a big one people forget, prioritize culture fit. You're going to be working really closely with this team. You have to vibe with them.
And here's a little pro tip for you. Use these 2025 trends as a litmus test. Ask any potential agency how they're handling the massive surge in video. What's their specific strategy for Arabic SEO? How are they preparing for voice search? Their answers are going to tell you everything you need to know about whether they're just keeping up or if they're actually ahead of the curve.
Okay, we have covered the why, the who, and the how. Now it all comes down to one final thought as you get ready to make your next big digital move here in Dubai.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. When you really look at this market, at the trends, at the insane level of competition, is your current digital strategy truly ready for what's coming in 2025? Because finding the right partner can make all the difference.